Mrs. Anderson. We are going to work some math problems together today. So let's take a look at our learning goal. It says, I can solve take from change unknown problems. So you might be wondering, well, what does that look like, Mrs. Anderson? Well, I'm about to show you. So look right here. We have 16 minus box equals 12. That is a take from change unknown problem. We start with something, we take something away that we don't know, it's a change that we don't know, and we get a brand new number, okay? Now, I don't know about you, but that looks a little tricky to solve to me. So I'm going to show you a tip that I use. This is how I would solve that problem. I would change that to look like this. So I would take these two parts at the end, and I would flip them. Now, you might be wondering, well, why are you able to do that, Mrs. Anderson? Are you sure about that? Does that work? Good. I'm glad you're thinking that way because mathematicians ask questions. Well, it does work, and I'm going to tell you why. These two equations or number sentences are part of the same fact family, and that is why you are able to do that. So let me show you how that works. So if I took 16 minus 12, and I'm going to work on this mentally, okay? So I'm going to think about it with my tens and my ones. So if I have 1 10 and I take away a 10, I'm left with 0 tens. If I take 6 ones and I take away 2 ones, I'm going to have 4 ones left. So 0 tens plus 4 ones is 4. So the answer is 4. All right, so 16 take away 4 is 12. Now let's check that. Put 16 in your head and count back 4. 15, 14, 13, 12. It worked. Okay? Did you see that? So we have 16, 12, and 4 in each of those number sentences. So do you see how they're part of the same fact family? Now we're going to try that with some that are a little bit harder. Okay? You might want to get your journal out and a pencil. You don't have to because we can do this mentally too. So let's try it with this problem. What if I had 23 minus box equals 12? Let's try that one. Now remember I showed you can flip these last two parts, and the reason you're able to do that is because those number sentences are part of the same fact family, okay? So again, let's look at our tens first. So if I have 2 tens and I take away 1 10, that's going to be 1 10 or 10. And I have 3 ones and I take away 2 ones, I'm left with 1 1. I have to put those tens and those ones back together. And so 10 plus 1 makes 11. So the answer is 11. Do you all see how that works? Isn't that so much simpler to flip those around and change it into a result, take from result unknown? Remember we did those kind of problems together a few weeks ago. Let's try another one. What if I had 27 minus box equals 16? Okay, let's flip that around to make it just a little bit easier to solve. Let's work with the tens first. What is 2 tens take away 1 10? Well, that's 1 10 or 10. Now let's work with the ones. If I have 7 ones and I take away 6 ones, that is 1 1. I have to put those back together. And again, 10 plus 1 is 11. So 27 minus 11 equals 16. All right, let's do one more. What about 34 take away box equals 14? Remember our trick, we can flip those two parts around to make it easier to solve because those are members of the same fact family. So what is 34 take away 14? Let's work with the tens first. If I have 3 tens and I take away 1 10, I'm left with 2 tens or 20. If I have 4 ones and I take away 4 ones, I'm left with 0 ones. So what is 20 plus 0? It is 20. So 34 minus 20 equals 14. Boys and girls, this is a strategy that I would like you to try to use today when you are doing your word problems, okay? You and I will do another little quick lesson together, and then you will get to practice using that on your own. Thank you for participating today and working so hard and being such good listeners. I will see you soon.